Hey, what's up? My name's Luke. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can't redo a first impression, so now we're here. It's good to be here. I am glad to be here. How you guys having a good day so far? Good. Me too. Thanks for asking. A little passive-aggressive coming at you. I live in Washington. Can you tell? I do. I like Washington. We got good hills. You guys have some hills over here. We went out to Twin Falls, and on the way there, I was like, this is a lot of flat. It's a lot. I don't understand that amount of flat. How do you work on your calves? I don't know. Is everyone a skateboarder? Is that why it's that way? It's like we just like to cruise. I don't get it. I have gone through the Midwest and done shows out there. And it's just a lot of flat there too. And they're like, yeah, but we got really good barbecue. I was like, you better have something good to look at down here, because there's nothing to see up here. Okay, sorry, shitting on Kansas. You guys are like, we like Kansas, don't talk shit. It's a rectangle, we're a fan of that shape. Better not talk shit about it. Okay. I do like touring, telling jokes. It's a fun thing that I've noticed about America in the last couple years is if you tell someone where you just were, they're usually like, yeah, I fucking hate it there. You're like, that's fun. It's just like, it's the same country. You guys are like, it's pieces of shit over there. You're like, yes. And I'm trying to make all of you happy. This is odd. Because that's what this is. I do, like, truly. I appreciate all you guys coming out, supporting live stand-up comedy. That's fantastic. This went away for a little while, and now it's back. And it's cool for all of you to just be like, hey, on a Saturday night, I really hope I can just, at 9 o'clock, I want someone to make me happy. Like, can you do that? And you're like, for sure, we can do that. $15, fuckface, pay up. I'll give you some of that dopamine trip, dude. I'm a big fan of dopamine. I'm a fan. Anyway. No, just me? All right, liars. Do we just not know what that is? It's the original cocaine. That's what dopamine is. Back before we hadn't invented cocaine, we used to do stuff. Our brain is like, yeah, more of that. And we're like, all right, I'll do that some more. And then we found cocaine. We're like, I don't even have to run to get this. It's good to be here. I drove here in my car, which is like the main thing I do in my car. I like my car. I like my car. I don't like my car's horn. I didn't check it. I did not know it sounded that way when I bought that vehicle. It's just, I don't know, it seemed weird to just start honking a horn when there's no reason for it. Just sitting in a parking lot just like, you're like, all right, that's abrasive. And also, like I said, I grew up in Washington, and it's just a cultural thing. We don't honk our horns over there. It just rains a bunch. We just sit in traffic silently, hating each other. Like, do you guys honk your horns out here? That was a very like, nah. Like, I couldn't tell if that was a yes or a no, actually. That just sounded very... Yeah, you just... That's odd, too. You know, do you make eye contact first? Okay, cool. That is aggressive. I do like a good eye contact. I feel like I've outgrown the middle finger. It just feels like when an adult flips me off, I'm like, okay, bud. Like, of all my fingers, this one's for you, buckaroo. Like, I don't know. I just, what I like to do if someone actually is really bad, and I think, because the point is to make them feel bad about their choices, right? Like if someone cuts you off or something, just be like, nah, sure, like that. If anything, that encourages me. If someone flips me off, I'm like, whoa! Like, because clearly you're winning this exchange. What I like to do if someone does something bad, I like to be able to drive up next to them, look over, and just go, that's you, boo! Like it's, because that's confusing. Some dude who looks like a thumb is showing an upside down thumb, just being like, you're like me, but bad. That's good. I like delayed laughs. man. First time I ever used my car horn, I'd owned the car for like 2 years. And I was driving on the freeway, listening to some metal music, because that's who I am, if you guys can't tell just off of how I look and sound. I love metal music. Anyone else? Okay, you guys, that was a calm reaction to such aggressive music. I was like, anyone else like the devil's music? You're like, yeah, I do. I like it when they sing about Satan. It makes me happy. I have joy in my heart when he's like, blah, 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 blah. It does legitimately it makes me very happy. I love metal music, love yelling along while driving. I get very bored in my car. You know, a lot of times when you tell someone you like metal music, they pull back, they react strangely. They react like as if you had just told them exactly what genre of pornography you're into. They're like, oh no. I did not want to know that about you. I would like to get out of your car now. I'm like, you can't. I'm using you for the carpool lane, dude. You're stuck. The yelling, does that makes you like that? You like that? I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. Well, it brings joy to my heart. I love it. I love the yelling, truly. Just, it boggles my mind when people are like, why is anyone, the yelling, who would ever want to yell like that? I was like, you sound like you're repressing a lot of anger. And you just can't imagine why anyone ever would want to yell? Like, do you not recall that kid in kindergarten who used to just run around sounding like a dinosaur all the time? He made a career out of it. All of his teachers, his like stepdad, the school counselors are like, Dylan, this behavior will never amount to anything. And he's like, what the fuck did you say? Witness me! That's his job. That's how he gets a 401k. Get the fuck out of here. Some people are accountants and you're gonna judge this man. You do other people's taxes for fun. Sounds great. I hope your mortgage is worth it. Such a cool job. He just gets to stand on stage screaming like a demon because he is still mad at his stepdad. And then a bunch of strangers run in circles, throwing their limbs every which way, hitting each other, looking like a bunch of pissed off Power Rangers. It's fucking tight. I'm a fan. I love me a mosh pit. Love me a mosh pit. If you don't know what a mosh pit is, it's a place you go to kick 15-year-olds. Consensually. These are consensual kickings. Don't worry, I'm not just showing up at some middle school just be like, think faster, kids. Like, you're the future, I'm the present, you need to learn. I do yoga, don't worry about it. Actually, early COVID, I started getting into yoga because I thought it would make me a calmer person, and no. Nope. Now I'm just a pissed off dude who can touch his toes. I'm like, fucking namaste, motherfucker, what's up? Watch out. I would be so good at Taekwondo. Better than when I was 12. Okay, we're moving on. Hi. Yeah. You guys, if you got parents in the audience, sometimes they pull back at that joke. They're like, oh, I have a kid, he's 15. Don't hit my kid. Like, don't worry, I used to be 15 years old with a full head of hair, hopping in a mosh pit, and some bald dude with a beard in his 30s would hit me. I'd be like, what's happening? He's like, I'm your future! We're running clockwise, let's fucking go! It's fun, I like circles. I do. I do love going to live shows, hopping in a mosh pit, enjoy that. Sometimes singers and bands, they like to tell jokes in between songs. And I'm always like, stay in your lane. If they were good jokes, I'd be like, wow, you got a lot of talent there, bud. Well done. But they're never good jokes. They're always very bad jokes. And that makes me very mad. Because like comedy, laughter, I spend so much of my life figuring out what words I need to yell or say at groups of strangers for them to be like, joy. Yeah, that fucking sound right there. Yeah, give me that. That's what I came here for. I just want to see your teeth. Who's been flossing? It's not all of you, but it is some of you. If you got your mouth closed right now, guess who hasn't been flossing? It's you! Let that joy out. I drove for a while to get here. Sometimes people do, I get so mad. You're like, people go to comedy shows and then they're withholding. They like show up and they're just like, I only brought like 3 hee-hee ha-ha, so. You better earn it! You're like, you sound like a selfish lover. Laughter is like the one resource we have that is infinite. All right, not funny, just a fact. At no point in time is someone like, I've laughed too much, I'm done. You're like, no, you're not. We can still dig deep, find some more in you. All right, that sounded more uncomfortable than I meant it to. That's a weird reaction we just had there. I was the alpha laugh, but then you're like, I was at a show. Let it rip, madame. I'm not. That would be so hypocritical. I was like, you guys aren't showing joy properly. And she's like, and I'm like, wow, that's fucking weird, right? And she's weird. This is her in bliss. We should judge. That's fantastic. That is a delightful, delightful reaction. I'm just saying, you guys, if this was like a classroom and we were taking a test on happiness, just cheat off of her paper. I'm okay with that. I'm only substitute teaching tonight anyways. I don't give a fuck. Oh yeah, I was at a show. In between songs, I'm not, because I'm choosing happiness too, madame. I refuse to stop. I'm not going to suppress my giggles on your account. I was at a show last year. In between songs, singer of the band goes, hey, you guys, what's the area code here tonight? Bunch of people start yelling out the answer, and he goes, no, not tonight. Tonight, the area code is 42069. That doesn't make any sense. Because that is not an area code. No, that is a zip code. Like the coolest zip code there is. Are you kidding me? 42069 just nom 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 nom. That's the dopest. That is the dopest zip code in theory, not in practice. Because Cottonmouth. It's a bit of a mood killer. He's like, I'm a bit too parched for this activity. I gotta go hydrate real quick. I'll be back in a few, babe. My favorite part of that joke is where I remove myself. Because it makes it seem like I'm like holding her. I'm like, here we go. No, later. Set you down. I gotta go sip on some H2O. You're quite wet, but it is not refreshing in the way I would like it to be. Good. It's always good when a man's like, hell yeah, wet pussy, my dude. They're better that way. Sorry, I don't want to tell women what to do with their bodies. But I think you're a lot cooler when you're a little whoop whoop. Okay. Okay, this is weird. I was talking about a joke. He said that, the 42069, and That audience did laugh pretty hard. And that it upset me. It did. I was just like, that is way too much happiness for not a good joke. I was like, I'm gonna fix this one in post. Give me some time. But I had about 30 seconds or a minute before they started the next song, and I did want to kick some of them, but there's no music playing, so you can't do that. That's like one of the rules. Like if the drummer's playing, you can throw kicks around. That's mosh pit. But if they're not playing and you hit someone, you're like, oh, it's assault. Interesting. Yeah. So I had a little bit of time to kill, so I pull out my phone, do a quick Google. I'm like, 42069, zip code. See if it's real. And it is. And it is in Kentucky. Which I think is a waste. It's a waste. I did my research for the joke. Yeah, it's a waste because that is a place where it is not legal to 420 or to 69. They're both illegal. You do a 42069 in Kentucky, Mitch McConnell shows up. He just pops up just like, you're not allowed to do that. Yeah, you're not allowed to get a little smoky and get a little snacky. It is. It is forbidden. Yeah, as punishment, I'm going to take the rest of your health care and use it on my necks. It's fun having albino turtle tell us what to do. He's like, you need to be more fiscally responsible. I was like, you need to not have your jowls jiggle so much when you fucking talk, bud. All right, sorry, don't mean to get political. Oh, man. Oh, I was talking about my car. We've gone off the rails slightly. I actually recently just got diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. I did not listen to the doctor. That means I earned it. She was like talking to me, and she's like, blah, 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 science, medicine. And then she said Ritalin. I was like, so what? What's that word you just said to me, madam? We trying to do drugs. Okay, oh no, gasp. Yeah, she did. She tried to get me to do drugs, and I did them. I did the drugs. And it was an interesting time because, I don't know, up until that point, I've only ever done drugs recreationally, never professionally, and it's a game changer. I mean, when you actually get the drugs your body is supposed to have, you're just like, oh, this is how all of you are. You just wake up and you're like, that's the first part of the thought. That's the second part of the thought. That's the last part of the thought. I'm done with that thought. What? That's your everyday? You're superheroes. Like, what the oh my God, every single day of my life is just who, what, where, when, why? I am bored. Let's run a circle right now. I still haven't, okay, my car horn. I was driving on the freeway. First time I ever used my car horn. Driving on the freeway, listen to metal music. We know I'm a fan now. Yeah, I was driving, I was in the far left lane, and I was passing a lifted truck, and I was momentarily in his blind spot, and he decided in that moment to get into my lane. And someone's behind me, can't slam on my brakes, so I have to hit my horn. And it goes, I was like, wait. That's the sound we make? To deter collisions. Just, now I had gone thousands of dollars into debt for that sound to potentially be the last sound I make on this planet. Like that could be the soundtrack to my demise. Just sucks. I'm just gonna shuffle off this mortal coil, sounding like Beaker getting choked out by someone with soft hands. The whole time, I still have my favorite band playing. He's just like, I'm like, I was like, this is an odd duet between me and Dylan, but I am enjoying it. Oh, man. You guys don't have a lot of traffic out here, I've noticed. Yeah, not yet. That is what's happening. I don't know, man. I live near Seattle, and we have so much traffic. Every time I get stuck in traffic, it makes me miss March 2020. It was not a fun time for the world, but it was a fantastic time for the freeway. For real, it was great, man. I would just hop on the highway and be like, that's the horizon. There's no cars in between me and it. There's no brake lights at all? Like, oh, this is an option. Oh, man, I kind of want everybody to die. Okay, not just me? All right. That was an all right reaction, Boise. I said that joke actually here, but over there, last time I was here, because that's where the stage used to be, superfluous information. Hey, welcome to ADD. I told that joke in this room, and a guy yelled out, hell yeah, I said that last week. And I was like, no, that's not exactly the response I wanted. I said a hee hee ha ha thing, and I was like, let's murder a bunch of people. He's like, fuck yeah. And that guy, he looked like me, which makes me uncomfortable. There's a bald white guy with a beard, tattoos. You're like, okay, bud. What do you identify as? Patriot or domestic terrorist? Which is it? Because either way, we for sure have some thoughts on January 6th, all right? All I'm saying is there's some videos all of y'all need to watch. That joke can go either way. It's bipartisan, all right? So unpucker your red or blue butthole, however you identify. We're here for hee-hee-ha-has, motherfuckers! I talked to him after the show because my car was parked next to him and I didn't get away fast enough. I stepped outside and he's like, I hate traffic. And I'm like, we're about to become, maybe. What are we supposed to do about it, bud? But, I mean, he was a nice enough guy. He was. We talked for a bit. I saw on his car, he had a baby on board sticker, which kind of, that makes me roll my eyes. Honestly, I thought we were going to outgrow those by now. Like, they're just still, like, it's, people keep doing it. I'm like, what? Like, it's been around so long. There are people with a baby on board sticker right now that used to be the baby on board. Like, you turned it into a family tradition. Well, we're just a baby on board family, son. Papa did it, I did it, you'll do it too. Ugh. Stupid. I was not raised in a baby on board family, I was not. The sticker that I have on my car says billions of potential babies on board. I got a lot of potential, y'all. And so do about 49.9% of this audience. And if we're being honest, actually a lot more wasted potential. It's gone right down the drain. If you're hygienic, that is. All right, you guys are pulling back, and that is by far the cutest cum joke you're gonna hear all week. I don't like how you guys are like, don't make me think about science. I don't wanna know. All right, sorry, Idaho. I'll be more direct when I talk about jizz. Yeah, we did talk for a bit. Turns out he doesn't just have one baby on board. He is actually a father of 3. Okay. Yeah, he's got 3 kids, which I thought was hypocritical. I was like, you have 3 kids? That's just future traffic, dude. That's 3 traffic, to be precise, that you made. You, sir, are a part of the problem. I was like, you can't be vehemently anti-traffic and pro-life at the same time. Those don't add up, Buttercup. Kind of conflicting ideologies. If someone asked me, like, hey, Luke, are you pro-choice or pro-life? I'm like, anti-traffic, whichever one that is. That's how I vote, please and thank you. Get out my way. I do get so mad when I'm stuck in traffic and I'm behind like a van, like a minivan or something, and you see their figure family, and you're counting, and then you get to 7, you stop and you just go, hey, stop fucking. We got enough of you. I get it. Throwing all your potential inside feels better than outside. But we got enough of you, bud. Y'all don't jizz? Okay, all right. Maybe that's why you don't have too much traffic yet. Give it time. Oh man, my brother has 3 kids because he is a part of the problem. Yes, I love them. I like being an uncle, truly. Like I like it now that they're a little bit older. I did not at first because newborns are very boring and easily broken, and that is not a fun hang for me. And I don't want to upset or offend any of you if you happen to be a baby. I don't like what he said. I can't even hold up my neck. Ugh, you're boring. And I don't hate babies. I don't. Truly, I don't. I just don't like being around new parents. It's just weird. I've seen it happen to my brother. I've seen it happen to all my friends that become parents. There's just a moment where they just shift. And it makes sense. I understand why. But they turn into strange people to be around. They just act like people who are on hallucinogens for the very first time. They're just like, I've never been more full of love and empathy than I am in this moment in time. Get over here and sniff this thing's head. I would rather not. I would rather not sniff your baby's skull right now. Yeah, I don't have the same chemicals in my body as you do right now, bud. I don't. Also, wasn't that in your wife just last week? Did you clean it properly? Because it does not look like you did. It's like, is it even done? Like, I know. It doesn't. Sometimes you're like, it's done? It doesn't look done. I know we can't, put it back. But maybe 5 seconds in the microwave? Could that help? And oh man, sometimes people just hand you a child you did not request, which is a form of gambling. I love how it smells. This is the best thing I've ever done. I love it when new parents say that. Like one of my friends have just been like, this is the best thing I've ever done. I'm like, okay, but I know you. What else have you done? Because I'm not saying it's not number 1, but come on, dog, give me top 5. Let's contextualize this a little bit. Because I know you haven't even done acid, not even once. And that's the only way you can go to outer space without being a billionaire. So you need a little context there, buckaroo. I do it. My brother did that to me just one day. He's like, oh, cash. And I was like, oh, what the fuck, man? I took an edible before I came here. Now you're maybe going to make me ruin Mother's Day. God. It's a dick move, Michael. It's a dick move. It's so fragile. So fragile. Babies, ugh. You can't shake them. Did you know that? Yeah, you can't shake a baby. It's like the first rule of Baby Fight Club. Can't shake a baby, but a toddler. You shake the shit out of a toddler. That's how you say hello. That's how you make a friend. That's how I actually just decided. I was like, oh, I kind of like being an uncle now. First one got big enough. I just showed up at a family get-together, walked in. I was like, hey, what's up, little dude? How you doing? She's like, kind of bored. I'm like, all right, well. How about now? She's like, it's so much better. Kids are just kettlebells that can scream. And if this hasn't resonated with you at all on any level, that's fine. We don't have to be the same person. But just so you know, you're a boring adult. Yeah, sometimes if you walk into a room, your niece, your nephew, your friends' kids, they see you and they're like, Deborah's here. Ugh. She's gonna come over here and make me sit still. And talk to me about how tall I am. Yeah, Deborah, I know I'm getting taller. It's like the one thing I know. Learn magic, you're boring. My feet hurt all the time. I walk into the room, kids are like, oh shit. Luke's here. We are going to fly like dragons. And this is true. This is true. You pick them up, you throw them to the sky. But they are not actual dragons. Dragons understand gravity and know how to land. You should check your upper body strength beforehand. Yeah, because these kids will rat you out. Fast! No loyalty. And sometimes snitches do need stitches, so. I'm just saying test it out a little bit. My brother, for all of his kids, none of them had gender reveal parties, which I appreciate. I don't know, I think gender reveal parties are silly. So we shouldn't be doing them. Like, they're also getting out of hand. They're getting out of hand. 2 years ago at a gender reveal party, a cannon misfired and killed a man. Yeah, which is tragic, but also kind of badass. Because they're like, before the baby is born, there must be a blood sacrifice. Invite Kevin, he is the least loved. Apologies to any Kevins in the audience tonight. Did you guys know that any party can be a gender reveal party if I pull my penis out? I'm like, haha, it's a boy. I mean, man, it's a man. I am a man. Don't worry, I'm not actually going to do it. Just because I look like Louis C.K. does not mean I shall act like him. All right, sorry. I just made a joke about a thing people constantly remind me of. Hey, you know who you look like? I was like, what? Who do I look like? Who? I don't remember asking your permission, so obviously I'm not him. I'm a different one. I'm the furthest away from the doorway, so you guys are fine. Okay, 2 inside baseball. That's fine. Oh, what was I saying? Gender reveals. Yeah, they're silly. They're silly. I don't know. I just don't think unborn babies need gender reveal parties. I don't think they've earned it. They haven't. If anyone deserves a gender reveal party, I think it's a trans person. That makes the most sense to me. They're like, hey, you guys, it took a little while. Pop that balloon. It's blue now. You're like, oh, what's up? Hey, dude. Welcome to the party. Here's your Coors Light. It's pretty fun. It's fun. You get to grow a beard now. That's cool. If it's patchy, that's fine. It happens to the best of us. Also, just so you know, I think technically now you're a part of the patriarchy, so someone's going to be mad at you. I don't know. Because it might take a while for someone to finally be willing to share who they are, be comfortable enough to express themselves as they see themselves. Because, I mean, just a couple years ago, the actor, Elliot Page, came out. They'd gone by Ellen Page for decades. For decades. And I remember the day that news came out, I read that article and I was like, oh, I used to jerk off to that dude. Oh, like a lot. Like, you know when you're just like, you're my pretend girlfriend. For a while, I was like, oh no. I guess I'm an ally. With the amount of potential I've wasted, I have to be on board a little bit. Yeah, so on that day, after reading that news, I processed it, and then I was like, all right, just one more time. for old time's sake, okay? Just me and Elliot getting the job done. Took a little bit longer than he used to. I know it's partially my fault. I am older, so that is a part of it, but wow, those abs really threw me off. Jesus, dude. You have not been drinking your Coors Light. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Have you guys ever been chased by birds before? Yes? What kind of bird?
It was a seagull.
A seagull. The dive?
Ivor stealing a French fry.
Okay, so, but did he chase you or did he just get your food?
He chased me.
He chased you? Is it because you had more fries?
Yes.
Was it the same seagull?
Probably 3 of them.
Okay, all right. Well, you're being a little racist there for a second. That's interesting. That makes sense. So, I mean, that's what they do. You go to a spot and you just have like, I'm eating food. And you're just like, fucking, yeah, right, you are. Swoop. Nature's rude. Anyone else?
Goose.
Peacock? Geese? Geese are dicks. If I had that much neck, I would not be that rude. Like, just imagine a dude who is mostly neck just be like, ah! You're just like, get the fuck out of here. I just want to be like, go back to Canada! Like, I got chased by crows. Yeah. Which, yeah, it's an interesting experience. For about 6 months straight. Yeah, the same group of crows chased me. The same one initiated it every single time. And it kind of sucked. Because I like crows. I think they're really cool birds. They're very smart. Yeah, they look like little gothic kids. They do. Just little gothic kids who got tired of getting picked on, so they started working out a bunch. Just like pumping arm. They're like, no one's going to talk shit about Tim Burton to me ever again. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. 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 And crows have like too much. They make direct eye contact with you a lot. Like you come around a corner and a crow's there. He's like, ah! And you're like, what the You're like, hey man. He's just staring you in the eyes. You're like, I don't like that confidence. Yeah. So confident. Sometimes they just hang out in the middle of parking lots and roads. That's where cars are. And then when a car comes at them, they could fly away. They do not. They just look at the car and they're like, nice try, dickhead. So you trying to murder me with momentum? No, dog, I'm just going to skip out the way. I do not respect your car or the sounds it makes. I practice my crow cacaws quite a bit. Thank you. Oh, man. Yeah, I got chased for a while there. It sucked at first. It would happen every time I stepped outside to go on a run. It was interesting. Who the fuck do you think I am? I have like 8 minutes on crows that I'm not going to do tonight because I researched this a lot. I became obsessed with crows for like years. You get chased by the same group of birds over and over again, you're like, I'm going to do a Google. And I did. They will remember your face. There was a study that was done up at the University of Washington. They'd have students wear a full-headed mask, kidnap birds, release them, have other students wear that exact same mask, harass those birds again to see if they remember. They always would. And then they'd have a third student wear that same mask, wait until that bird that had been PTSD'd up isn't around. But all his buddies who saw him freak out are there, and they're like, hey, do you remember me? And they're like, we do! That guy's a dick! And the mask they use, just a bald white guy, which is... I'm saying we don't have a great record already, but I'm like, that is not very far away from where I live. Like, come on, man. Like, that means a professor at the University of Washington literally trained birds to train other birds to be mad at me. I'm saying it sucked at first, but after a while, all my runs got so much faster. Just step out of my house, I'm like, hey, let's go! And they're like, It is motivating getting chased by a murder. I wish I could hear what my neighbors thought. Just every time I stepped outside, they're like, is he turning into a Disney villain? What's happening? Just every day? Every day fleeing a murder. That's oddly motivating. He is getting faster. Oh man, I think running was my first form of flirting. Didn't say it was effective. As a little kid, I used to just be like, try to be like faster, run past my crush. I'm like, what did I think was gonna happen? She'd be like, oh, did you see how swift Luke was? Oh, I should suck his dick in a decade. When it's age appropriate, okay? I feel like, regardless of how you vote, I feel like we all have to agree it has to be an oddly encouraging time to be a Brandon. All right. We know. We're in Boise. We know what I'm talking about, you guys. If we're in Seattle, there's some people who are like, what of Brandons? I'm like, oh. You don't pay attention to bumper stickers, do you, buddy? Nah, man, I kind of wish my name was Brandon for the last couple of years, because that would be, first of all, not knowing what's happening. There are Brandons out there that had no idea what's happening, and just one day they're walking around and like, what? Why is everyone rooting for me right now? Just like hella dudes in lifted trucks believe in me for some reason. I wanted to be lazy today, but I guess I can't. I gotta go carpe that diem today. That's very funny to me. I assume everyone knows, but for those who don't, Let's Go Brandon is like this like super secret inside joke. People have told me that. They're like, dude, it's an inside joke. I'm like, dog, this is the most outside inside joke I've ever heard. You're like, you don't get it. I'm like, it's pretty straightforward. It's got the same amount of syllables and everything. What the fuck are you? It's a super, super sneaky code to say, fuck Joe Biden. And that's a sentiment I don't necessarily disagree with. Just, fuck that guy, fuck the guy before him, fuck all of them. I don't know. Not to get political, it's just... Yeah, it's weird. It's weird for me. It's weird when people, like, get mad when you have that sentiment about any president. They're like, you better not say that about my president. It's like, you have a favorite president? You dork. You're a dingus, dude. Like, ugh, I bet you kiss your mom on the mouth. Oh, I'm sorry, do we have a couple mother kissers in the crowd tonight? Could you do all of the rest of us a favor and stop? It's weird. You're making literally all of us uncomfortable every time your mama. It's weird. That is a category on websites. Stop it. We got some sinners in the audience tonight. I don't know, man. Just like having a favorite president, to me, it's just... Also, when people say, like, let's go Brandon, they think they're being cute, but to me, it reminds me of when I was in elementary school and I used to flip people off with my ring finger. I was like... Try to get me in trouble! You can't! I said vacuum. You're a dork, dude. LGB. Okay, buddy. I don't know, just having a favorite president is like being a fan of your high school principal, and I think that's stupid. You were just that dingus who like dressed up in like all the school colors, and at the assembly you're pacing around, you're like, you guys don't have enough spirit! Come on, Luke, you don't look like you have a lot of Falcon pride today. Don't you want a sword? Fucking nah, dude. Not a Falcon, bit more of a crow. Get the fuck out of here. If you had it, you'd get it. You do a little tippity tap, and people are like, "Oh, why would you do that?" Because it's there. Because I have so little else I can do with it. That's why. Sorry, not to point you out, but you are in the front and you're shiny as fuck right now, dog. You should know. Is this the first time you've ever sat in the front row of a comedy show without wearing a hat? I know. Like, you guys are like amazed by this, but I'm like, yeah, obviously. Him and him. Hey, all right, well, I didn't want all of you up front. No. Let's not all talk in a group together after the show. Dude, it just happens. It happens sometimes. I'm just out and about living my life, and I look around, I'm like, there's 5 bald white dudes. We're all talking, we need to scatter. We do need a little bit of a diversity of skin tones and haircuts if we can, please, because I'm like, what's up, man?
He's Portuguese. So.
He's what?
He's Portuguese.
Does he identify that way, or are you just like, I got not just white friends? That's what, hey man, you're not helping you're helping my case. Because that's some honky shit right there. You're like, no. He's 13% other, so I'm an ally. You're like, who the fuck you are? He can, hey white man, he can talk for himself. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you need to lean in and listen. Oh, that was fun for me. Good skulls, by the way. Yeah. That's it. Like, I feel like I like to play this game. First of all, you guys all look like versions of me. That's fun. Do you guys ever just walk around and just see doppelgangers of yourself everywhere you go? I don't know have you guys tried this? I play this game when I walk past another baldy beardy. I like to walk past them and just whisper a little bit too loudly. I just go, "You're not me," and then I keep moving. They've been pretty chill this whole time. I worry that one day one of them is going to be like, "What the fuck?" and like, get in a fight, because that's going to suck. No one is going to interrupt that fight at all. At all. They're just going to be like, "Whoa." We're just going to let these 2 bouncers sort this out. Didn't even know they had them here, but I guess apparently someone is getting kicked out of this Safeway. All right, I got a couple jokes left, and I got to get out of here. You guys were a lot of fun to tell jokes to. Good job sharing your joy. I appreciate that. Okay, all right. A little delayed, but that's fine. I'll take it. I was weird. I was like, you guys did a good job. You're like, yeah, but what about my low self-esteem? Can you address that? No, I cannot. You have to. Quit being a piece of shit. Sorry, self-talk is very important. You gotta be kind to yourself, and every time I mess up, I'm like, yeah, man, quit being so hard on yourself, you piece of shit. Okay. I'm gonna be hanging out near the front door, along with Greg and Bree and Haley. I'm gonna be selling some merch as well, because that's what comedians do. A lot of times people think comedians started telling jokes because we love comedy, and that is not true. We go out and travel the world telling jokes because we actually just have a passion for apparel. I just love putting t-shirts on torsos. Love it. Let me cover up them tits, please and thank you. And I do know I've made some jokes tonight about drugs. I have. Guilty. Made some jokes about drugs, but I want to go on record and say that I still agree with Dare. I do. Yeah, I don't think kids should do drugs because they don't deserve them. Like, at all. Like, shit's fine, dude. You wake up every day, life, let's go. No. I was at the grocery store a week ago out in Seattle. I saw this kid running around the corner of an aisle screaming at his mom, holding a blue bag of chips. Just be like, "Mom, Dad said we could have sun chips!" Throws it in her cart, starts running circles around her. She's like, "Oh, they're whole grain, Mom, they're whole grain!" And have you ever seen undiagnosed ADD out in the wild? Like, what's up, dude? Game recognized. Game, little dude. Your mom loves you, but if she didn't love you this much, you'd be dead. And I'm like, dog, that's a blue bag. You're this happy? That's original Sun Chips. That's boring, basic Sun Chips, and you're this, like, that's not French onion. That's not harvest cheddar. That is not my personal favorite garden salsa. And he's this happy? I'm like, you guys know how good I have to be at doing drugs to be that happy again? It's difficult. So I had some shirts made that look like the DARE logo that says, kids don't deserve drugs. Right there. Right there, yeah. And I have small through triple XL, so, just whatever size human you are, I can probably cover up your tits. And I do want to say, these shirts, I love, like I said, love metal music, love going to live shows, love seeing bands that I didn't know anything about, seeing them and be like, yo, you guys are dope. I want to buy your merch. I want to support you. And you go buy their t-shirt, you put it on, you're like, whose body is this for? This doesn't cut my tits the way I want my tits cupped. It's chafing my nips, if I'm being honest. This is not ideal. So when I got these shirts made, I made sure they're going to feel great on your tits. They're not gonna chafe your nips at all. And I know this because I've tried each and every one of them on individually. It's gonna feel good, believe me. That's a Luke Severeid guarantee. And I take cash, credit card. Credit card does not even have to be yours. I'm cool. So just come talk to me. And like I said, you don't have to buy anything. Just come say hi. I have a QR code. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, just all the fucking platforms owned by billionaires. I'm a peasant. Just follow me. I'll be back in town at some point. You can watch my funny, oh, look at that video of him yelling at a bunch of bald white guys. That was funny. It's probably going to be a clip. It was really good. It makes me look like a really good white person if I'm like, wow, no, I'm an ally. Like me online, please. All right, I got a skidoo. I'm not good at receiving compliments. I'm not. They make me uncomfortable. I don't know.
We won't say anything nice.
Okay, this is not the Q&A section. Calm down, you guys. I'm about to dismount. You're like, now we're going to fucking mess with his ADD. This is a setup part of a joke. No, compliments do make me uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't get people that are good at receiving compliments. Like someone says a nice thing to you, and your first reaction is go, oh my God, thank you. I deserve that. Ugh, gross, psychopath. How are your daily affirmations going? Because it sounds like they're getting out of hand. I don't know. More often than not, if someone gives me a compliment, my immediate response is to go, ugh, prove it. Show your work. Especially if it's compliments about my physical appearance, because I have been working on getting in shape for about a decade. It's tedious. You got to stick to a diet and exercise plan long term. And I've been sticking to the same diet this whole time. It's called the yo-yo diet. Big fan. If you don't know what the yo-yo diet is, it's where you diet and exercise for about 6 months, and then someone says a nice thing to you, and you're like, I'm going to eat an entire pizza and black out while thinking about what you just said. That's what happens, man. That's why someone says a nice thing to me, I'm like, I'm going to ruin it, and it's kind of your fault. A couple months ago, my girlfriend told me it looked like I'd lost some weight, and I was suspicious, because she is not a scale, and I was not standing on top of her. How does she know that? And also, I'd seen what I'd put in my body that week, and I was like, it just hasn't shown up yet. I had 8 IPAs yesterday. You just give me a minute, and it's like, I'll be back. But I was asking her, I was like, what makes you say that? Why do you say that? And she told me she could tell I'd lost some weight because her forehead doesn't hit my tummy anymore. Do you get it, dude? You get it. Okay, you get it. Cool. Just checking. Because I got it. I was like, prove it. And she did. It was a very fantastic Sunday. Actually, I got to be honest. That relationship ended just a couple months ago. She shouldn't have given me that fucking compliment. I told her. But, I mean, breakups suck and all that stuff, but it's actually been the best breakup I've ever had. We're still friends, it's cordial. That never happens. I'm like, ooh, 10 out of 10. Would dump her again.